Yeah, it's starting live.
Fantastic.
Hi, good evening, everybody. In fact, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending upon which part of the planet you are watching. And I am extremely sorry at the outset. Let me express my sincere apologies for keeping you waiting. It's more than 45 minutes you have been waiting for us. And I'm actually humbled. And that also shows that, how much value you assign to these weekly meetings, which we have with our guests. And in this group, as all of you know, we have started this group with a purpose of reaching out to the people and transforming their lives. I'm Yogesh Srivastav, your host, and with me we have Parul Malhotra, a very, very powerful lady, a very, very strong lady, and who has been, working with print media, electronic media. She has also worked for British High Commission. She is a certified NLP practitioner. She is a life coach, and she has many laurels to her credit. So I'll not take much of time because, as it is, we are running behind the schedule. So I will request Parul. Parul, the floor is yours now. Can you hear me?
Yogesh, yes, I can. Thank you very much for having me. And you're doing amazing work, amazing work. So it's a special honor to be here and with everybody else. So thanks very much.
Thank
So
you.
what would you like me to start with? It's
Yeah.
your
So
show.
yeah. So thank you, Parul. Thanks for your time. In fact, I kept you also waiting for about 45 minutes. But as all of us understand, there are technical issues sometimes which are not, in our control. We only, try and find out what could be the best way out of that. And that's what we were, both of us were trying. You were trying at your end, I was trying at my end. Nevertheless, now it's fixed. Good news. So I will request you to start with your journey. How was your journey? Please share with the audience about your journey.
Okay then. Um, so born and raised in Delhi all my life. Very good middle class family, very typical story, I would say. Strong value system, a lot of emphasis on education, and also work hard and you will go places. So I absolutely believed all of that, and I did the hard work, and I got good education, and then I became a journalist. And then after about 15 years I switched careers. I started to advise a foreign government on policy. So I had everything. I had a great career, I had fantastic profile, I had very good influence, I had respect. So I had all the trappings. The only thing was I didn't feel very happy on the inside. I kept feeling like I was playing small, and that feeling just kept growing and growing, and I kept ignoring it. And I didn't realize, but over time it just became a lack of confidence in myself. So everybody else was seeing a certain part of me, and I was very good at what I did. But on the inside, I was like, what's going on? I just lost confidence in myself, and I started to feel like there is no future beyond this. So I felt very stuck. And it was happening professionally and it was happening personally as well. And it was now going on for several years. And it didn't occur to me even once that I should look inward. I should examine myself. Not once did that idea cross my mind. I just kept focusing on what was not good enough. I just kept focusing on what was missing. I just kept focusing on what I wished it could be. I never stopped to ask, why is it like this? What can I do about it? So I got very good at playing a victim in my own head. Of course, I didn't see myself as playing victim. I did not see it, but now I see it. I started to play victim and I felt victimized by circumstances and by, certain individuals or whatever. And it's a feeling of like helplessness and powerlessness. And it's not a nice feeling. So anyway, so that was going on. And finally I got sick. I actually got physically sick after 6-7 years of this frustration that was building up. My body just said like, don't do this anymore. Don't do this to me. And I realized later, after I studied with Bob Proctor, who's a mentor and he's an expert on human potential, I realized that actually this is the process that a lot of us are going through. There is a process of anxiety, and that anxiety we suppress and we ignore, and it keeps building up because you actually don't suppress anything. It just goes inside the body and it turns into depression. Like, this is actually what I studied. It turns into depression, that turns into dis-ease, and then the body starts to disintegrate. That is when we start to wake up and say, hey, what's going on? So in my case, it was a chronic pain, and by 2019 it was quite bad, and I felt like it was interfering with my normal life. And that's when I really started to take up sort of take note. But it took me like a good year. It was December 2020, or actually this time last year, that I realized that I needed to find a cure for this, because doctors couldn't find anything actually physically wrong with me. I just had a pain in my neck and it was traveling up and down. And so I went to energy healing. I got some relief. And then I said, well, I'll become a healer myself. I can't keep asking people to heal me. I will heal myself. And then I understood the process of what our thoughts are doing to us. Our thoughts are causing all this illness and sickness. All our lifestyle diseases, a lot of it has to do with how we are using our mind. So that was a journey, Yogeshji. Like exactly actually this time last year, I turned to energy healing. I started to study the mind. First, I started to study it myself. I realized how powerful the subconscious mind was. And then I got myself a spiritual grandmaster because I really felt drawn towards that path. I really wanted to find myself. I was like, why is this happening? And why is this happening now? And what is it supposed to mean? And by February, March, I started to really get involved with the Bob Proctor's work. And between the spiritual grandmaster and Bob Proctor, like my life totally turned around, and I just fell in love with personal development. So that's what I do now. I'm a spiritual success consultant, and Bob Proctor is my mentor, also my business partner.
Okay, so it's quite painful a story, and I think this is something which is more often happening in our families, in our society, than not. And probably, all of us keep on prolonging it, keep on hoping against the hope, maybe something would be better someday. And then we compromise a lot on our own values, on our own, ambitions, on our life priorities and all those things. So, yeah. But then, why is it that you realized it so late? I mean, you always have,
I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah. Please continue.
Okay, I did not know what I didn't know, and that's the point. We don't know. We are not being taught any of this in our schools, which is why I feel so passionate about putting this out there and helping us understand what's going on. Look, it's our thinking that's causing it. We don't like the results that we get. We get frustrated. Our normal tendency is to look at the circumstances and blame them. We will blame individuals. We will blame the boss. We will blame the wife. We will, get frustrated, take it out on other people. It's always outside. It's always outside. Actually, and that's what I learned from Bob. It's not like apna gyan. That's what I learned from Bob. Like, it's all inside. It's our thoughts that are creating this. Our thoughts become our words. Our thoughts are our beliefs of what is possible for me, what is not possible for me, what I can be doing, what I should be doing, what I should not be doing. I never asked myself once, how can I make this okay? How can I make this better? What can I do? There was a sense of entitlement, and I feel like that sense of entitlement is actually very subtle. We don't see it as a sense of entitlement, but when we start to live from the outside in and we expect other people to sort things out for us, that's coming from a place of entitlement. But sorry, we are responsible for our lives. We are. And it's not our fault, because it's that programming, the conditioning. We are being told to think a certain way. You can do this, but not that. You're good for this, but you're not good for that. It's very difficult to go there. It's very difficult to be that. We are constantly being fed this by people who mean well, by people who are trying to protect us, by people who don't want us to get hurt. But I'm sorry, ignorance is no excuse. Ignorance is no excuse. These are just opinions. You have no idea how powerful you are. You have no idea how powerful you are. There is so much potential locked up. And again, I learned from the best, because I told you, Yogesh, I was tired of playing small. So I absolutely just invested in myself. And I said, I'm going to go and get trained by the best in this business. And it's a fact. If we
And
don't
one
value,
important thing,
no one will value us.
yeah, one important thing which you shared is that we always look outside. We don't look inside for whatever is happening with us or around us. So I think that is something which all of us always miss. We always blame others and we don't look inside and then try to fix things inside. And that is
Yeah.
probably the reason that you found that okay, you need a mentor, and Bob was your mentor. So, what is your grand mission? What is the purpose of your life now after having undergone all these, experiences? What is your grand mission? What is your grand purpose?
Yeah. Just want to reinforce the point about mentorship. It's so important. What we don't know, we don't know. So the smartest thing to do is stop wasting time and just get mentored by people who do know, because they've been there, done that. It's a good shortcut. Second, just really want to put this out there. If things feel rotten, if things feel bad, be very happy, because being discontent is a very good sign that you're still alive on the inside. So jump on that opportunity and make it work for you. Being discontent means you're still alive, your soul, your spirit is still calling out. So it's actually meant to be a start of a new chapter. I can say that now confidently. I hit the lowest point because there was so much amazingness yet to come. So my purpose is basically to be a change agent. I'm very clear about that. I am a change agent and I help you become change agents. My purpose is to help you find your purpose, because the work that I did with Bob helped me find my purpose for the first time. And I want you to either find your purpose if you're feeling lost and directionless, or I want you to reconnect with your purpose if you've lost your way a little bit. And then I want you, with my help, with Bob's help, to ignite your soul and go out there and do what you're supposed to do. Do what is calling out for you to do. That's my purpose.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. Okay, I just wanted to understand how did you choose Bob? Because there are so many mentors. Why is it that you chose Bob
Because
or not
Bob's
somebody
the
else?
best in the business. Because Bob's the best in the business. This is foundational work. The program that I got trained to do with him, what the teachings that he's taught us, is foundational work. It goes to the root cause of everything. We keep trying to change our results by changing what we do. We will do more training, on the job training. We will join some personal development programs. There's lots of good stuff out there. But firstly, knowledge does not translate into action. How many of us know that? We know, we want
Correct.
to wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock. We can't do it. We sign up to courses, we never finish them. We get some training, we see some good results for a few months, and then we lapse into our old routines. So there is that what we call the knowing doing gap. So Bob's work actually hits the nail on the head. It goes to the root cause of the results that we are getting, which is the paradigms in our mind. Our paradigms are basically our belief system, our self-image, all the conditioning that is sitting in our subconscious mind. And it's these paradigms that are becoming our habits. If you're going to say, I can't wake up at 5, you're never going to wake up at 5. If you say, I don't have time, you're never going to find time for what you want to do. If you say this is very difficult, it will always be difficult. So you see, it's this subconscious conversation that we keep happening, which is sitting and it's dictating our behavior. And that behavior is translating into what we do and what we don't do. Even not doing is a choice that we've made subconsciously. And then we say, हम तो ऐसे ही हैं, मैं तो ऐसे ही हूँ, या पुरानी आदत है, मेरे से नहीं होगा. you can be anything, you can do anything. Your personality can change with your thoughts. If you have the discipline to change your thoughts, you can install any habit at any age. You can get super disciplined. You can be very focused. You can be very, very creative. You can become very intuitive because it's all in here. Nobody's going to do that for us. This is our job. And that is being a peak performer. That is being amazingly powerful. As a human being, as a parent, as a student, as a CEO, as a creative, because all of this is our job. And this is the training that Bob does. So that's why I said it's foundational. Like if we don't get this right, like finding who we are, discovering our purpose, identifying a goal for ourselves, our mind is a GPS. If you don't give it direction, we will be meandering through life. Giving it direction is very important. So the goal has to be there. And then this inner work that draws out all of this amazingness inside of us, then we can add on with other personal development stuff. It makes sense. But unless we plug the knowing doing gap and unlock our higher intellectual faculties, the intuition, the creativeness, right? Getting connected with other forms out there for guidance, none of that will work. So that's why I went for Bob, because he truly understands the mind and the universal laws. The universal laws. There are universal laws: law of cause and effect, law of success, law of compensation. The laws are at work all the time. We don't know them, but they are affecting every single thing that we do. They are giving us our results. So thinking into results is both changing our paradigms and unlocking our higher emotional, intuitive intelligence so that we are very, very good at what we do. And we're aligned to our purpose. So it's like a quantum leap in our performance and in our mental, emotional balance and genuine happiness. Did that help?
Wonderful. I think
Why I chose Bob.
very interesting point you have. Yeah, very interesting point you have, put across. That is, knowing and not doing is as good or as bad as not knowing. Right. So that is very important.
And it's not our fault.
Most of the times it happens that all of us think that we all know everything, but we actually don't do about it. So just knowing is not enough. We need to take some action into that. So it's a very, very important thing. I have been also following Bob very closely. Of course, I have not been. Yeah. I think I am not yet ready to be his mentee because when the student is ready, the master appears, as they say. But then one thing which I find, yeah. So one thing which I found, Bob always talking about is, changing the frequency of the vibration frequencies and also the paradigm shift. You have also made mention of it. You have touched upon briefly. So can you please elaborate what is, what does he mean when he says that you have to change the frequency and what is that paradigm shift? Please elaborate it.
Sure. It's actually really just what we talked about. So everything is energy. So this is another thing we're not taught. So I'm very passionate about working with adults, very, very passionate, because when adults get this, it changes them on the inside, and then they can teach the kids to be this way. And it's very important for kids to actually understand that none of this is being taught in school. How to think. Thinking is a structural process. Thinking is peeling the layers of conditioning that limits us and allowing what is genuinely inside, the talents and the gifts that we are given by God, to come out. But if we don't know as parents, the kids will never know. So my vision really is to be able to take this across to kids so that they grow up to be amazing decision makers, to be very confident, to know when to be logical, to know when to be out of the box. Because you can't be out of the box and go with the flow all the time. There is a place to be very, very structured and disciplined, but equally there is a place to be very in the flow, because the creativity then comes from that space. So anyway, so energy is everything. We don't know about this. Some of us do, but most don't. Everything is energy. You are energy. I am energy. All our guests are energy. The chair I'm on is energy. We're all interconnected, but we're all on different frequencies. Energy, anybody who's done basic physics would know energy has a frequency. So we all have different frequencies. Now think of it as like each wave is a wave, but it's also the ocean, right? So that's us. We are all individuals in our own right, but we are also interconnected with everything in our physical world, everything. And also with the invisible world. So there is an invisible world out there. So basically let me try and make it really easy for us to understand. If you're in a high frequency, you will feel love all the time. You will be happy for no reason. You will be in a state of constant gratitude. You will be very intuitive. You will want to do more and more and more, and you will do it very effortlessly, and you will get very amazing, quick results. And you will be like, ye kya hua? Something happened to you out of the blue. Some amazing offer came, a proposal came, a business idea came. And then not only did it come, you also moved on it very fast. That means you're on a very high frequency. You'll be kinder, you'll be more compassionate, you'll be more patient, you'll be more empathetic. I'm sure we all are, but it gets more and more frequent. And it becomes so frequent, then it becomes us. And we are all these qualities, but we don't let somebody's suffering, we empathize, but we're also strong enough on the inside to not let it affect us in the way that it does right now. Because that's also very important. If we're also going to sort of get shaken up with something that's not nice, then how are we going to be a part of the solution, right? This is being on high frequency. And being on low frequency is basically the exact opposite. Thinking thoughts of lack. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough. Thinking, being worried, being afraid, nervous, doubtful, uncertain. All of this is low frequency. And paradigms, I would basically, in one word, I would just say, like, just imagine driving a car and you're hitting the brakes, and then you're pressing the accelerator, and then you're pressing the brake again, and then you're pressing the accelerator. The car is never going to go very fast. It's certainly going to take its time, right? That's what we do. That's what our paradigms are. Our paradigms are all these beliefs that we have. Oh, the economy is down. Oh, there are no jobs. Oh, where am I going to get the money from for this? I'm not good enough. I'm too old. It's too hard. All of this conversation that limits us, our beliefs that limit us, the image that we have of ourselves, which is limiting, these are basically our paradigms, which are in our subconscious mind. So consciously, you will try and get into a meeting saying, yeah, I got this, I'm very confident. Subconsciously, you have lack of confidence. And the meeting doesn't go very well. And you come out saying, oh, I'm such a loser. And you consciously say, no, actually, I'm not. But subconsciously, that has now settled because the result has emotionally affected you. That is subconscious conditioning. Now, ek baar wo ghus gaya, once you've got that impact of that meeting that didn't go well, the next meeting is not going to go well because subconsciously it's settled there. And when the next meeting doesn't go well, and the next meeting doesn't go well, now you have a pattern, which is why the best sales training in the world will not help, because salespeople they don't have a good self-image about themselves. They don't like being in sales. They don't sell. They're afraid of being rejected. It's settled in them as a self-image issue. So these are basically our paradigms. So what we do is we raise your frequency so you're all that amazingness. And at the same time, we are getting you to replace your limiting paradigms with empowering paradigms. So now at both levels, we've unlocked ourselves. It's a training for 24 weeks. Obviously, everything's not going to change, but at least you're learning how to do this. And 24 weeks is long enough to actually both replace the paradigm and to start to tune into a higher frequency and stay there after setting a nice goal.
Quite
so then we get you sorted to hit your goal with momentum.
Quite interesting. So as you have, very well said that, to understand what is paradigm shift and what is the change of frequency, you need time. I probably in half an hour, maybe 1 hour, or maybe a couple of hours. It's not possible to explain the entire thing, but the basic premise remains that you have to, move from the lower frequency to the higher frequency with certain actionables. So there are certain actionables which you have to, work on, and then probably you can move on to the next level. Is my understanding
The
correct?
basic premise is
And that
the
actionable
basic
and the
premise is,
process is 24 weeks.
yeah, the basic premise is you are amazing. The basic premise is you have everything going for you. Every time you tell yourself that, oh my God, I'm weak, I can't do this, it's a paradigm. So don't listen to that. It's your monkey mind saying you're not good enough. You are very, very, very powerful. You're God's highest creation. You have amazing gifts and talents. Just because you've had some past results does not mean anything. It doesn't mean that you can't change. It doesn't mean that you lack anything. You just have to let it out. It's a process of mental conditioning. Imagine a garden and you've got weeds. You're never going to have nice, beautiful flowers in a garden full of weeds. So the process is pull the weeds out, put some new seeds in, water them, nourish them, give them care. Don't keep ukhading the seed to see uga kya nahi uga. Just relax, continue to do your job, but you're changing yourself on the inside to become more confident, decisive, to be clear, to be focused, to love yourself. And then you start to see the goodness happen. That's the process. So the only actionable
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
decide that you want to be more, decide that you want to be more, decide that this is going to be the first year of a new life, and connect with me because it's going to be very, very amazing.
Parul, one thing I have, myself experienced and have found, all across, what happens, it sounds very good, when people listen to these kind of conversations or they read, motivational
Yeah.
books or they listen to some motivational speakers. There are a whole lot of
Yeah.
motivational speakers, inspirational speakers, life coaches, so on, so forth, you know.
Yeah.
But then after some time, everything fizzles out, people go back to their old
Mhm.
pattern and nothing seems to be actually moving. So,
Mhm.
what are your thoughts on this?
Paradigms are paradigms. Our thoughts, the things that we keep saying to ourselves, are sitting in our subconscious mind. Those thoughts have turned into habits. If we keep saying that I don't have time to finish the course, you're not going to finish the course. The paradigm, any idea that you're emotionally involved with, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, is now sitting in your subconscious mind. If it's a great idea, you will go on to do the things that is in alignment with that idea that you have planted in your mind. If you have planted an idea that limits you, you will forever be limited by that idea. So in my case, the idea was, I don't know what to do. I don't know where the job is. I don't know where else I can go now. It's COVID. There are no opportunities. As long as I kept saying this to myself and I kept saying, I'm stuck, I actually manifested stuck energy in my body. My energy actually got stuck because I'm energy, right? So these are paradigms. The beliefs that we have, the image that we have of ourselves, the things that we say to ourselves, what am I not good enough for? What am I not able to do? What is hard for me? If we keep saying this, we're never going to do it. So there is a way to change the paradigm. It is really as simple as you want to wake up tomorrow at 5 o'clock, start writing today. Tonight write 50 times. It's so easy for me to wake up at 5 a.m. Just do this 50 times in the morning, 50 times in the evening. Write it, write it, write it, write it 50 times in the morning, 50 times in the evening. Any habit that you want to break, you have to program the subconscious. So I've just given you a tip. You program the subconscious through repetition. It might not make sense to you, but it's just the way it is. So if you do this for 30 days, you'll see the shift. You can change any habit like this. You can say, I'm super confident, I know everything. Get your kid to say that to himself before he goes for an exam. I know everything, I love this. Start getting him in to do this, like, a month before an exam. Get him to visualize how he's like sitting in the taking the exam, being very happy, confident, relaxed. He knows all the answers. Get him ready mentally. He already knows everything. See, that's the thing. You'll get him a tutor and the results may not last. because there's all this, this movie is going on in his mind subconsciously. So the tutor also, you'll get some results as long as the tutor is around, but the tutor gets out of the scene, same story, same result, right? So here, this is how we can help our children. The story that we are playing, the movie, that script has to change. We can write out any dialogue that we want. That's the fun part. It's our movie. I'm the star of my movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll take you back to your movie again, because there is an interesting point which you made, and what is occurring and what is bothering me is, how do I understand the trigger? What is the pain? So if you can relate to your pain, what it was like, and how did you understand what triggered you to think on these lines, that this is the time for transformation? So how does one understand, and get that message that, okay, this is the trigger, now enough is enough, probably now it's time to look inside and move ahead?
Everybody has their own trigger points. My trigger was, I can't take this anymore. I was in a lot of physical pain. I was getting, I was going from MRI to MRI and I couldn't fix it. And I also had migraines. So I had two sets of physical problems, and I've been very fit all my life. So, and then the feeling of stuckness, and then, personal relationship not working out, and then COVID, and, losing so many people, and just seeing so much uncertainty and anxiety and nervousness and fear and grief. It became too much, and I was like, I cannot live like this. Come on, there's got to be a way out. Come on, there's got to be a way out. So I did not know who to go to. I only prayed. I said, help me, help me, help me, help me get out of this. I'm in pain, just show me some way, show me some way. And so I prayed with faith, and all of us who believe in a higher power, when we pray with faith, we get the answers. But I also thankfully had the sense to follow the answer. Many of us get the answers, but we still disregard them. And then later we say, us time kar lete to, right? That was a paradigm. Your intuition was telling you to do something. You held back. That was your paradigm one. So anyway, so I was just in so much pain. So when I got guidance, it was like energy healing guidance. So I started meditating. Then I got trained as an energy healer. That opened up the whole world of, the subconscious mind. That brought Bob into my life, and that totally changed my career trajectory. I was still working in the High Commission. I worked there, but I also started as a consultant. In April, I was off like a rocket because I fell in love with this. More than that, everybody has to know this. Otherwise, the frustration will keep continuing. The results will not change. We will keep spending money on really good courses and specialized training and all of that. Nothing will change unless our thinking changes. And there is no other process to think except for the structural process that Bob has outlined. So we don't tell you what to think, we teach you how to think. That's the beauty of this. And you need to learn how to think, because the thoughts that we think are not actually thoughts that help us. We have 64,000 thoughts going on in our mind. Do we know which thoughts to hold on to, which thoughts to discard? Do we know how to string together thoughts to create an amazing idea? No, we don't. Do we know how to switch the switch in our mind so that we go from one frequency to another? Do we know that we should be canceling thoughts the minute they're in our consciousness, because we don't want them to go into our subconscious mind and become a part of a new paradigm that limits us? No, we don't know any of this. We go to school, college, we learn in textbooks, we go and get degrees, and we stay in jobs that don't fulfill us. This is the stuff that needs to be learned.
Absolutely. In fact, our educational system has been, it was woven around a particular system that they need workers, they need managers. They don't teach the, how to be successful in life. And I think that is a big gap. And okay, so before we sign off, I think a couple of things I would like to understand from you. What is it that comes to your mind, that how you are going to reach out to people and help them in transforming their life? What are your plans?
Firstly, I would encourage you, everybody, to invest in yourself. Don't invest in your company, business, without investing in yourself. You will have the best people working for you, but if you can't lead yourself, you're not going to go places. So personal growth, fantastic idea. Secondly, emotional and mental stability, alignment, inner alignment, very, very important. So my program is phenomenal for that. It's the best insurance policy, because you then ride the waves of life, because life is life, stuff will happen. But that kind of inner confidence is very important. So get in touch with me. 3, you have everything in you. We're not going to do any new things with you. You're only going to pull all your amazingness from out inside. Okay? And your ego self, your monkey mind will say, not now. Jab time aayega, abhi nahi, very busy, things are not too bad. It will also say, I'm very successful, I don't need it. You do need it. Firstly, you could be even more successful if you were actually tapping everything that you have, which is still locked up. Secondly, even if you're very successful, you don't know why you're successful. You're probably doing some things very, very right. But if you actually knew what was working for you, you could transfer that system within your teams, at home, with your kids, so you could level up everybody, including your clients, if you're in consulting and you're working with other people. Because when you recognize what's holding you back and what's working for you, you're able to actually recognize the same behaviors, the same paradigms in other people. That's how you become change agents. Not only do you become kinder and nicer and full of love, but you actually help other people every single day. You know my habit. Every time I hear somebody say something which is limiting them, I point it out. It's like, that's a paradigm, stop it, right? So here's what I would really like to urge you up. I'm opening my program on Monday. The slots are limited. I'm going to keep it open till the 1st. And so I encourage you to get in touch with me. I'm going to put the link here. It's a fantastic opportunity to turn things around or to take it to the next level, depending on whatever stage you are. And you'll earn a very nice early mover price bonus if you sign up by 27th. So don't wait on it for too long. And whenever you're ready, I can put the link, Yogesh, to you. Just let me know.
Yeah, very interesting, Parul. Thank you so much. In fact, I was just thinking, how could I, share this information with the audience so that people who are actually interested, not only interested, in fact, they are committed to their self growth and self development, can take benefit of that.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. It was very informative. But before we sign off, I would request you, if you have anything to add or any final piece of advice to the audience.
Yes. Be authentic. Be authentic. Be very clear about what you stand for. I didn't know that. I didn't do too badly, but if I'd known it, I could have done better. That's why I'm saying it. Be authentic, be clear about your convictions. Which beliefs are you going to hold on to? Which beliefs are you going to discard from today? They are just beliefs. Don't identify yourself with your thoughts and your beliefs. They are not you. You are soul, your spirit. You're not the thoughts that you're thinking. So decide, okay, it's not serving me. I cannot lose weight. No, it's just a belief. It's not true. So be authentic. Know that authenticity is your best currency. You can have fabulous sales and marketing, but people actually connect at an energetic level. So if your sales or your marketing is not working, there is something missing, which is your authenticity. It's your currency. Conviction. Be convinced about yourself. It will come through in everything that you're doing, in all your relationships, professional and personal. So really invest in finding out who you are and who you want to be. Because if we are not clear about who we are, how are we going to know where we want to be? And if we don't know who we are and where we want to be, then what are we going to do with this life? We're going to be like a little sailboat being tossed around on the waves, right? We don't want that, I guess. So anybody who's like seriously thinking that, because of the COVID, because of pandemic, it's time to take stock, or anybody who feels like I'm playing below potential, connect with me. I started by saying I want to ignite your soul. I will. This year could be an amazing year. Start of a really, really different life. I am an example of that.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. In fact, so thank you, Parul. Thanks for your time. And I once again sincerely apologize, not only to you, but also to the audience. There are certain issues which are, difficult to handle in the sense that these are technical glitches, which probably we are also finding, to how to handle all those things. So it does happen. But nevertheless, it was very interesting. And I'm sure that everybody will get benefited. It's quite valuable. And I'll keep on inviting you as and when you have time, and as and when the occasion demands it and the audience demands it. So I wish you all the best on behalf of myself and behalf of the entire group for the good job which you are doing, for your endeavor of transforming life of so many people, touching their lives and making change agent, being a change agent. So thank you very much. And once again, I thank for your
Thank you
time.
very much for having me.
Bye bye.
Is
Bye
there a
bye.
way
See you.
to put the link here?
No, it's not there because this I'll have to again, post it. So I'll get in touch on that.
We'll take
Yeah.
it out. We'll take it
All
off.
right. Thank you. Bye
Okay.
bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Bye.